This is something that both gun control and liberalizing prostitution was on my political party's agenda. It was on the website. So it was sort of right up front there. Our problem is not that we lack laws. Our problem is that we lack in enforcement. There should be a consequence for a judge generally just adjourning a case just because he is bored.
You can take on the judiciary.
They are also entitled to sovereign immunity protection. That is why they can't be touched. There needs to be some amendment to the constitution that takes away that sovereign immunity protection.
What about this woman's right to, what is the right word?
Liberalize prostitution.
Yes, that's the right word. I'm so uncomfortable. People are going to attack me.
Now, what is different in Bombay than in Delhi?
The
Easy availability of
milk is less
commercial
diluted.
sex. No, easy availability of commercial sex.
Oh, is that so? Cyrus says Anand Prasad and partners, one of the leading law firms in the country. I'm going to ask him how much it's going to cost to, in case there's a problem. Supreme Court, that too. So this is the most expensive. Anand, if I was to retain you or ask you to, represent me, what are we looking at?
Oh, you want me to give you a funny answer?
No, I want the truth. With GST, VAT, everything, I want to know everything.
Like some of those commercial workers that you see in parts of the city, I'm at $500 an hour.
One second, when you said commercial workers, you're talking about the oldest profession?
Yes.
You're $500 an hour. So I'll take the worker then. Bro, kuch nahi ho payega hum dono. There's no point. Let's just get on with it. Yeah, so Anand is here actually to promote his book, which is The Unshackling of the Elephant. Right now with the being a dog lover and, with the Supreme Court not being extremely pliable in terms of, softening their stand, etc., it's looking a little difficult for us. I always wonder, is there anything in this whole checks and balances system, you're the guy to talk about this in your book, I think we'll get into all that, where the Supreme Court is the end for us. We can't go above that. There's no check on the Supreme Court.
There's a God above Supreme Court.
Is that your answer to the client after we lose the case?
No. Many of the judges say it.
Oh, okay.
Off the bench.
Oh,
That
okay.
above me, there's only God.
Yeah. So take it up with him directly. Yeah. But elsewhere in the world, also so-called Western democracies and all, are there any checks and balances on the president? For example, Mr. Trump is running riot here and there. It's not clear how he passes all kinds of things without the Senate and Congress being involved. So I get very worried about this constitutional law and whether there really has as much power as we think it has.
I mean, he's only beginning to do it. We have been doing it for decades now.
Oh, he's the amateur.
He's an amateur. He's the copycat.
Yeah. So your book is going to help us understand that. We used to do a show called Beak that wasn't, we thought it was satire, but I think it was like a documentary. And we were always a little worried about the president, the Supreme Court and the Constitution in terms of you cannot say anything directly against them, or you have to be very careful if there's a constructive criticism of any kind.
So you said the Supreme Court?
The president, the office of the, you can say I'm the Prime Minister, but the office of the president should be very careful in terms of...
No.
Yeah. So there's nothing in the Constitution saying the president is off limits.
No.
There's
something in the Constitution that gives the president what is called sovereign immunity. That you cannot sue the president while the president is president.
Who would sue the president, but?
People could sue the king.
They could.
But you couldn't sue the king in England.
Have they?
So that's the same principle
so it's
that
copied that. So he's immune. He has an immunity.
He's immune.
Or he or she. In this case, she. Yeah.
That principle then extends to a lot of government officials because they are agents of the king or agents of the president.
They take advantage of the situation or it actually extends?
My book talks about getting rid of the idea.
Yeah, that's what. Firstly, the lovely title, Unshackling the Elephant. It sounds very... immediately you feel your intelligent ratio has gone up. You need titles when you're walking around. And please go... By the way, where can we get the book?
You can buy it off Amazon. Otherwise, many bookstores seem to have it.
Amazon, many bookstores.
Airport lounges.
Airport, a very good place to get books. You're always waiting for a flight. Unshackling the Elephant. Now, the elephant in this case, in your words, is the Constitution.
Is India.
Is India.
India and Indians.
Oh, thank God. We can abuse Indians. We can do that. There's no law against India and Indians.
No, we can abuse the Constitution as well. So.
We can?
Yeah.
Are you my lawyer?
Yes, I can be your lawyer. $500 an hour.
Commercial worker, you're fired. Money well spent. Yeah. So, we can't go through everything. It's a huge book. But let's, for amateurs like us, just try to understand. I am a one-year LLB, so I'm not an amateur. थोड़ा knowledge है मेरे पास. It's not zero, but so let's go back and see. Firstly, the title.
So the title, as I said, is about what is it that
So
you
you're
could
freeing
do.
us to be
So
able.
freeing us to be truly free.
Right.
It's not just you've gotten rid of the British Raj.
Yeah.
But I think we are ruled by brown sahibs.
Yeah.
So how do you sort of free yourself completely, economically, socially, politically, in every kind of way? How do you become truly free?
So in a sense, you need the knowledge to be truly free.
So you will experience. It's the experience that will tell you that
Now
you're
this
truly
sounds like
free.
the commercial worker again. These are the kind of lines I get when I visit certain countries. Yeah.
But when I describe freedom in this case, because freedom can be anything, you can just take it to various levels. So I'm saying that where we are sitting in India, at least you should be where an American citizen is.
I don't know if that's the right...
in terms of empowerment, in terms of
okay.
their entitlement as a citizen, their access to the law, their recourse to justice.
Their problem is who is a citizen. It's not really... If you are a citizen, you're fine.
Yeah.
So you're saying we are below that in terms of the self-power that we have.
Yeah. I mean, we are equal to that in theory. But just run into something untoward anywhere on the streets and you'll figure out how much of a common citizen you're. Then you'll have to either call somebody.
Yeah, influence.
"Kaise karwa do," but no influence. You stand in line like the common person. You will then see what India is.
So is it a question of us not knowing the law and not knowing our own...
Partly not understanding what the law is. I mean, you know what the law is, but you don't understand it. There's no...
Well, give us examples
There's no
if you can.
emotional buy-in. So I mean, it's an example that I cite in my book. So let's say we've got this idea, and lots of us in urban India carry this very strongly, lawyers in particular, that there must be due process in criminal law. Now, the Indian mindset is that it's a slam dunk case that Ajmal Kasab was a terrorist.
Yeah.
Why does he need a 4-year trial to be executed?
There are two things there. 4-year trial, yes, I have a problem with. But no, he has to have a trial because we have a system. Yeah.
And therefore, if you're going to... Why spend those 4 years? What are you trying to prove? It is an open and shut case.
It's a good point.
And so therefore, we don't understand the process. Now, we have adopted a procedural law that actually says process is more important than the outcome. As Indians, we prefer outcome over process. So we like shortcuts as long as you get to the... We don't like shortcut resulting in something ugly. But we like the idea of it being a shortcut.
No, but it's also the question of the law has to be seen to be fair, not just be fair, right?
But
so you
I
have
mean,
to show it.
So
it's a visible...
But all of us know. Why show... I mean, how much of sun can you show?
Because in a democracy, you're saying you're not like some despot who just comes and executes people.
Achha,
ultimately, you do.
So it also depends on what is democracy. So democracy is where you vote state. Citizen rights are different. It's not necessarily... You can not necessarily be a democracy, but also have citizenship rights. So let me give you an example of that.
Dubai. Yeah.
So you could
and
have
people are
rights.
happy.
People are very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a preferred destination.
Absolutely.
It's an inhuman place to go and live in.
Well, if you're earning well, I don't think so.
No. Inhuman in the sense, weather you come outside, air conditioning, your skin begins to sort of feel...
That 2 minutes when you're waiting for your Uber.
So if you look at it in that sense, here is a monarchy that is running a country well.
India?
No. UAE.
UAE, okay.
Or Dubai.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
Dubai. No worries. Dubai.
And you have rights.
And you are living as empowered as anybody else. The only thing is that you cannot abuse the royal family.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're happily living. To that
you can't
extent...
vote. There's no voting.
There's no voting.
Yeah.
To that extent, we are so critical of China. China mein koi rights nahi hai, stuff like that. You actually go to China, you be friends with the Chinese. You will experience that other than challenging the Communist Party, they have every right and more than what Indians have.
Can they urinate on the road?
I don't think we can legally urinate. Illegal है. Urination on the road यहाँ पे भी illegal है.
Illegal है.
कोई पकड़ता नहीं है. खुद ही पकड़ना पड़ता है.
Watch your language. I think Anand is more stand-up comic than a lawyer. Yeah, that's true actually. The fines are there, but they don't never put in place. That's a question of discipline. Okay, tell us more about the book then.
So the book essentially is about... So you talk in terms of what needs to change, because all of us feel the the pain of living in a what you might by and large describe as a dysfunctional, semi-functional country. And what is it that we can do which is easy? So the book basically does a couple of things. It provides easy solutions for a bunch of things that will vastly improve our lives. I try and do it in common man's language. I give the history for what it is, where we are today, and what little tweak can we do to make our lives, to change in law and therefore make lives different.
Change in law or change in understanding of law?
So change, you understand the law differently and therefore you can push the change.
Okay.
Because today, what you have is, if you're going to leave it only to the elite to change the law, by and large you will get more of the same. Unless the people understand what they want. Now since you said democracy, what does lawmaking in democracy mean? It means, when you talk in terms of lawmaking jurisprudentially, there is public morality, which then solidifies into some sort of rule. And rule is where there is a consequence if you violate morality in terms of punishment of some kind. That then becomes law. If you now look at lots of Indian law, the people don't understand it. It does not come from the people. It's come from an elite section that seems to think for the rest of the people.
It's come from the British.
Yeah.
It's already
so,
there.
But we've continued after. So Brits left in 1947.
Yeah.
After 1947, what's been the state? Now let's test it also in terms of what was Indian level of integrity, honesty, decency at the time of independence.
I'm getting worried.
No, at the time of independence. And where is it today? Do we think we have slid down?
How can you test it?
So think in terms of how did your grandfather behave or great-grandfather behave? You think in terms of what
how will I
their
judge
word
the
meant.
morality of a generation that's 50, 80 years ago?
Did they, when they said something, did they mean it? You look at us, when we say,
that
I'll
way.
tell you whatever
We are
you
a
want
more
to hear.
shallow generation.
We are very
Is that your
shallow.
point?
That's my point.
Yeah.
So we've been sliding down the sort of, when I say morality, it's not personal morality, it's this sort of public morality.
Just the character of the individual.
The character of the people has been changing. Essentially, the point that I make is, it is because you have very low enforcement. Our problem is not that we lack laws. Our problem is that we lack in enforcement. And enforcement suffers because there is a disconnect amongst the people, the systems, etc. So enforcement becomes hard. So that is what the book is trying to explain. And then it explains with little tweaks here and there in law, you can actually change your life significantly. There's also a big section of how can you use technology in implementation and enforcement of law.
So what we're looking at right now is that we as Indians don't understand our rights. Generally speaking, not everyone. We don't understand the law. We don't understand the application of the law, and we don't allow the law to have its due process as a consequence of that.
So we have no understanding of what due process is. So when you don't understand something, what do you do? I mean, I'll
give you an example. You fight with a policeman at a nakabandi. You should know where it leads to, like what the steps are, but you just have an argument, whatever. Then he says, okay, I'm going to fine you or whatever. And then he, wants to produce you into court, and you have to attend the court, and then there's a hearing, etc. Where does it go after that? If you truly believe you're innocent, and this has happened to a friend of mine, that's why I'm asking you.
So this is one of the tweaks that I suggest, is get rid of this idea of sovereign immunity. So sovereign immunity means if the policeman is in the wrong, you can subsequently sue the policeman, or you can sue the police. That is a concept that is unknown in India.
Yeah.
All you need to do is watch American television series, and you'll see some character telling the cops, I'm going to sue you.
No, in YouTube there's lots of that going on. Where the
so I'm going to sue you sort of is common.
Police brutality, etc., and
But you can sue them. See, at the end of the day, human beings are human beings. Untoward stuff will happen, brutality will happen, crime will happen. The question is...
It's not about the uniform, it's that person who was dealing with you.
Who is dealing with you, but the question is, do you have recourse against it? Here we don't have real recourse against it. Even if you have some sort of recourse, it is some vague recourse. That recourse doesn't hurt the person who's caused you the harm directly. So you will get some court orders against them, then government will have to sack him or something like that. You can't sue him in the sense of recover damages from him.
On a personal level.
At a personal level.
Like you would with a neighbor.
Yeah. And so that is where sovereign immunity sort of plays. And if you have the notion of no sovereign immunity protection, now the cop has to behave a lot more responsibly. So he can still cause your friend harassment.
But he stays between his lines.
But then he is very mindful of the fact that I could get sued. And your friend also believes that ye my baap nahi hai, I can sue him. So your friend also becomes a little more bolder, which I am imagining even without that he was bold enough.
No, he hadn't drunk any alcohol. So his whole point was there's no alcohol. And that guy was trying to put him on the thing that you've drunk alcohol and, you know.
So then your friend would be, so you could push back, and if he puts him in jail because despite him having not drunk any alcohol, then he could have sued the cop, he could have sued the state, and he could have got action against court orders against both.
But realistically, what would happen?
Realistically.
Has this ever happened?
No, because we are still, all our government is protected by sovereign immunity.
So we have to remove this sovereign immunity.
So see, sovereign immunity is, there is this entire notion that the king can do no wrong.
The king, but we are looking at the king's associates.
Agents of the king.
Agents, yeah.
Agents of the king also can do no wrong. So they can... So that is the legal protection. That's an imperial idea. It did not exist. Remember, it did not exist before the English. So it did not exist at the time of the Mughals. It did not exist at the time of the Turks. It did not exist at the time of the Hindu kings. It did not exist at all.
Chandragupta himself didn't have it. Yeah.
Correct. So it is a completely new idea. And in fact, you will see through all Hindu mythology, through Islamic history, you will find that kings basically, it's not as if they have sovereign immunity. So Jahangir had to pay huge money to somebody that his wife killed by accident. Similarly, if Dashratha shot somebody, then there was a consequence for him. He could not get out of it. So to say that mere se galti ho gaya was not good enough. So the way the penny fell was, today the principle is, if a government official takes a decision with a bona fide belief that he truly believes that this will happen, but it goes wrong, you can't sue him. There is no consequence for that. It going wrong. I'm saying that there should be a consequence for it going wrong. There should be a consequence for a judge generally just adjourning a case just because he is bored.
You can take on the judiciary.
They are also entitled to sovereign immunity protection. That is why they can't be touched.
I'm a little confused. So this is already there, that the agents of the king can also be protected and you cannot, they're untouchable.
Yeah.
It's there, or they're just...
No, it's there. It's there since the time, pre-British time, it is there.
So what you're saying in the book is we have to remove this.
So I'm saying that we have to get rid of it because a lot of the Western world has gotten rid of it already.
So in the Western world, can you take on a judge?
You can take on a judge.
As in a common man can take on a powerful judge
So also look at it like this. In the Western world, how often do you see Tariq pe Tariq?
Well, not after, I think, Sunny Deol stopped doing those films.
So, true. So...
But there are less people, no? That makes in the smaller countries and all, they don't have this kind of footfall that we have.
But if you have one... Why have a system that can't deliver to 1.5 billion people? So then get rid of the system. My one remedy is give everybody the right to carry a gun.
What will happen to you, sir? You're a Supreme Court lawyer.
Oh, lawyers will always find a way to make money.
System change, lawyers stay.
No, I'm a commercial lawyer, just to be correct.
Yeah.
So I sometimes go to the Supreme Court, but I'm not what we would describe as a Supreme Court lawyer.
Right.
I'm essentially a corporate commercial lawyer.
The ones who make the most money, guys. Quietly try to, dumb it down a little bit. So we have to remove this sovereign immunity for us to have any sort of rights against the powerful.
Against the state. So basically, that will then force the state to function better. It will improve quality of governance. It will improve quality of decision making, judicial decision making. People act more seriously. Today,
that's why I asked you about checks and balances. It should be both ways in a democracy. It can't be one way.
So it is one way today.
It is one way, yeah. So especially with the people you mentioned and all the sort of police and all these institutions, there is no real way to challenge them.
Look at the Enforcement Directorate today.
Well, they seem to be a power of their own.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sovereign immunity protection.
So how would you take on if you were raided, if you were a businessman who was raided, how do you take on the ED?
In today's world,
as
they say, when rape is inevitable, lie back and enjoy it.
We're not laughing. Yeah.
But
no, but that's true in a sense. The ED can do what it wants.
You won't get bail when you go to court. How many people do you know have gotten bail when the ED arrests you?
Almost none, yeah.
But
then again,
and you can be arrested for something frivolous.
Yeah. But you can, but I'm saying when you have these kind of institutions, for us to take them on, shouldn't there be instead within the various institutions, they take each other on? So you can appeal to that institution, like the ED.
So in our case, that should be the judiciary which you can take on the ED with.
Yeah.
The institutions provided.
Yeah.
Except
in reality, that doesn't work. In
reality, it doesn't work because also the law is designed in a manner that gives the ED as much power as it is, and Supreme Court has also interpreted that power in a very wide fashion. So it is empowered the ED more than maybe what the law initially
Also, what you said
designed it.
earlier on about the attacking the person in a sense, or rather to protect yourself, where you go against the ex-officer in the raid, and so he's separated from the ED in a sense when he has to. I mean, there's no sovereign immunity, but he has to take you on.
True.
So you've gone against him, not against the office.
True.
Sometimes, and that cannot happen either.
So take a live example.
Yeah.
You take. So I don't know the names over. I don't remember them very well, but I'll tell you the story. Shah Rukh Khan's son that got arrested in
Aryan.
this thing.
Yeah.
And there was
Samir Wankhede.
There's some ED official that I don't think he could sue that Wankhede guy directly. What happened is he went to court and sort of made out his case, and there was administrative action against Wankhede.
Yeah.
So it's not as if Shah Rukh's son could basically sue Wankhede.
So it's an indirect thing. So this happens, and then from the establishment itself, action is taken in the system against this guy.
Yeah.
So but it's not a person one-on-one, person against person.
Correct. So what I'm saying is, once you get rid of that personal protection, which comes because of sovereign immunity principles, you should be able to sue the individual directly. The individual should defend his actions. What is the basis?
Right.
He shouldn't be allowed to rely behind some obscure state functioning. You go and sue the state. You can't sue me because you have to function responsibly. And so therefore people are using this shield to function highly responsibly with no consequence. No accountability, no consequence.
Another example in Mumbai, I can't speak for other cities, but the BSC buses, I remember if they had an accident, the bus driver was not bothered because you can't really take any action against him. And the system takes care of him. You know.
So what will happen is you can sue maybe the BSc
and nothing will happen.
And then the case will go on for this guy will retire.
Yeah.
And then some.
But it'll never affect him personally. Even if they lost the case, they would pay out whatever. It doesn't come from his pocket.
It doesn't come from his pocket.
Yeah, that's what. And that's it. So he'll continue his merry way of banging the car into whoever and whatever. So that's I think, how do we get this done? I'm with you.
So there needs to be some amendment to the constitution that takes away that sovereign immunity protection. And then it'll be done.
But how do we get that done? Parliament?
I'm in Parliament.
Lok Sabha bill and then all the usual. And do you think they would do it? Because in many ways they need the institutions to protect them.
At the end of the day, the question is, do you want accountable governance or you don't?
We want accountable governance, but what do they want, the ones we elect?
But those guys sometimes who get elected today then are in the opposition tomorrow. So then they'll be at the receiving end.
That's what?
I mean, as this happens in the UPA time, you saw the Home Minister was...
President generally... Amit Shah versus Chidambaram?
Yeah. And then
106 days, 107 days.
Then when it flipped the other way. So you've got to be mindful of the fact that today you carry the stick.
One day you're
tomorrow
batting, one day you're bowling.
One day you'll be bowling. And when you're bowling, then
suddenly you need the help. Yeah. And you're saying abroad this is more or less in many of the Western democracies, this is there.
So, you'll watch OTT platforms, you'll see people saying, I'm going to sue.
They have sued Trump. They haven't successfully sued Trump, but he's been sued. Yeah.
So suing government and government officials is very common. Here we sue government, and that also through a writ petition. There are very few civil suits or claims for damages from government. You will sue government in a writ petition to force administrative action or to challenge some government action.
You have opened my eyes, and this is the most beautiful music I've heard in many years to how do I get money from the government?
So that is what I'm
now
talking
we're going
about.
to get, this is the kind of, this will make this into a reel. A lot of people will want to listen.
So
please tell us, master, how do I get money from the government?
So there needs to be that change in law, and then it'll sort of...
And then you will literally sue your friendly neighborhood member of parliament.
In theory, you can sue government today, but there are so many hoops that you need to go through that you'll give up.
No, but the fact of the matter is that if you go through the system, results are now not in people's hands, but you can.
You have to get permission somewhere, you have to serve notice somewhere.
But India will go mad. Everybody's got an opinion. You know how we are about cricket?
As they do in the US. Everybody's got an opinion. Dirty Harry said
but then everybody will... did you quote Dirty Harry?
Everybody's got an opinion.
Until he pulls out the Smith & Wesson.
No, he's got something like everybody's got an... Opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one.
Oh, wow.
So everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. But the practicality of actually suing, then what are the chances of actually winning? Have you thought that through in the book?
The book, let me describe the book a little bit.
Please.
So the book is split principally in 5 chapters. So one, how do you use technology in courts? Second, how do you business law reform? So a bunch of things. So sanctity of contracts, which is a major hassles every policymaker and economist. It talks about how do you bring sanctity of contract and various other things in the business world. Then there is this bit about how do you Indianize laws. When I say Indianize laws, I'm not talking about making them dharmic in nature. I'm talking about how do you reflect the will of today's people into the law? Does the law today reflect the will of the people?
Can you give an example?
That KASAB.
Okay.
Why 4 years of trial?
Yeah.
So, will of the people might, whether they should be, will of the people,
What
they should execute them.
would America or England they would all done the same thing. They would have to show the due processes.
But those people believe in it.
Meaning?
They believe in due process. We don't believe in due process. And that's my point, is that the laws have to be framed on the basis of what your people want, not what the white man wants.
All right. Go on. You said the 5 parts of the book.
So 5 parts. So then there is that Indianizing bit. Then there is constitutional change more from an improving quality of justice, improving quality in the judiciary. So performance review of judges, tenure of judges, appointment
performance
of
review of judges means you're putting a system in place to check on the judges as well. Now, who will do that? Retired judges?
So, no. So my book, you should read the book. But I say a bunch of different stakeholders. Stakeholders include litigants that go to court.
Yeah.
Judges must become service providers, not wielding sovereign authority.
The judge will lose confidence also.
Oh, so there are 1.5 billion people. If you lose confidence, resign and leave. Somebody else will come and do its job. So if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Wow.
So this country needs people who are willing to deliver. All of us deliver. How many of us require sovereign immunity protection to do our job? We take many decisions. Some of them come wrong. We deal with the consequences of wrong.
Okay. So what you're saying is nobody is above the system.
Nobody should be above the system.
We're all facing the same things. Meet your targets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's one bit. Then I've got something which is called out of the box ideas. So out of the box ideas is things sort of out there more to open up people's minds. So how do you look at individual defense? So I talk in terms of getting rid of gun control. I talk in terms of liberalizing prostitution, more in terms of women's rights to give them agency over themselves. It is there, and to improve safety. So they're sort of counterintuitive.
Before people are shocked and all that, we'll take a break and come back and talk about these two in detail. We should really, because this is an idea. It sounds a little, new age maybe. And people are not evolved enough to accept it. But let's take a quick break and then come back. The book is called Unshackling an Elephant. It's on Amazon, or go to your local bookstore and ask for it.
Did you know Indians report nearly 800 cases of online financial fraud every day, which has resulted in losses exceeding 1,000 crores in the last 5 years? To keep you safe from such fraud, I am starting my newest podcast series, Conversation with Vigilante, an initiative by HDFC Bank. In every episode, I will feature special guests who can share expert insights on the different types of fraud, their modus operandi, and how you can protect your money. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't forget to tune into Conversation with Vigilante. Catch the episodes on all audio streaming platforms and V for Vigilante YouTube channel.
Anand Prasad is here, $10,000 just to say hello to him, $20,000 whether he wins the case or not, and $30,000 don't bother him on Sunday. Yeah, we'll talk about we want to get into your personal life a little bit, not personal life, but you behind the law thing as well. But you mentioned two very hot topics. One, gun control. What's your take on gun control?
So I come at it at different levels. One is cultural level, one is jurisprudential level. So think of it historically or culturally. Gun control was brought into India by the English to basically control the Indians because we are quite brutal and violent people. So all these things about we were peaceful, etc. is all bull.
But we weren't carrying guns and walking around.
We were carrying swords and guns, and everybody had them. We didn't have standing armies. So when there was a call to arms, people came with their hatyar from their homes.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. The king had a little bit chota-mota stuff, but call to arms is the population was empowered. So if you look at that period, we were not a subservient people generally. Today we are willing to suck up to anybody. We are now become a subservient people.
So you're saying guns gives us that belief that we don't have to be submissive.
You look at you've been to the US. How many submissive Americans do you know as easily? Before Trump?
Joe Biden.
Okay.
Just the one. One. Bit the dust. Yeah.
But-
no, you're
but-
right. But
but
they're very
the-
cocky people. It's a very different
Yeah,
culture.
but it is because they have that, they have so much power over their own rights. It's direct power. So in certain states, you can shoot somebody if they trespass.
True.
To shoot to kill.
See,
Not shoot to maim, shoot to kill.
I mean, a trespass, it's
what
like a
about-
burglary. If somebody comes
but
into your
in
house.
our country, you can't.
No, I'm sure if I had a licensed revolver and I shot someone who entered my house to rob it.
But you won't license revolver. Getting the license is it's a multiple task.
Okay.
So a few things that we forget. So I think it had cultural impact on India. It came in because of a certain reason, and then
Even the rich had guns.
everybody had guns. Everybody had weapons.
Even a zamindar, not zamindar, but a civil servant, rich people.
Yeah, everybody. The common person used to have.
Yeah.
So the
Why are you pointing at him?
No, I'm not pointing. I'm pointing at the camera.
Abhi, stand up, take out your gun.
So the common people used to have it.
But isn't it scary? Going back to the gun control debate that goes on in America and never ends. If everybody had guns, I mean, UP has a few guns and we all make fun of it. But I don't
Okay,
know.
the Kurgis have a right to carry a gun.
Okay, Kurgis and Sikhs have weapon.
So do they go killing people?
Bro, but I've been to a wedding. They start shooting. Your heart starts racing.
Yeah, but they don't go about shooting people like the
But
way
it's a risky.
the way we imagine it to be.
Yeah.
How many times have you been to the US? Do lots of urban Indians want to immigrate to the US? Is it their preferred choice? Do guns stop them anywhere? No.
No.
They actually love going there.
But they have all those school shootings. They have there's so much data that
I mean, look at how many people get shot in Bihar and UP. None of us seem to register it.
Are you saying there are no schools?
So no, in the US, you can buy automatic weapons off Walmart,
But in some states, yeah.
and that is what the anti-gun protest is about. It's
No,
not about
but there's
handguns.
Right to bear arms, which they have in their
Yeah, but
constitution.
school shootings is basically
Yeah, but the
automatic weapons.
The fact is, the constitutional right, one of their first rights is the right to bear arms against a government that is dysfunctional.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking aloud, you're looking for civil disobedience here in a sense.
No, but it's a highly functional country, no?
It is, but if we did
But
it.
think of it like this: most of Western Europe almost everybody has hunting weapons. In Japan, they carry swords and things like that. So a large section of the world does have it.
The so-called enlightened world.
The enlightened world has it. The so-called enlightened world has it. And then there's also the principle is that the weapon is not the criminal, the individual is the criminal. So if you wanted to be a criminal, there is a hammer that you can use. There is an axe that you can use.
Yeah.
There is a kolhadi, the thing with which you cut coconut and all. You can use that hatchet.
We've seen the same movies.
So it is not about. In some measures, yes, there will be a kind of spike in violence. The question is
Every
the
time you have an
balance.
argument, Anand, is going to be little dangerous if people have weapons, right? Every time, I mean.
But let me complete the thing.
Yeah.
So there is that cultural element, and of course I see what you say in terms of the US, and for a lot of us urban audience, what happens in the US is so traumatic that we don't need to think in terms of what happens in the rest of India. I would like to imagine what those people would think. So I was an amateur politician. I tried to run a political party for a couple of years. That was sort of more free market.
When was this?
This was after I left my firm, Trilegal, 2017 to 2019.
Wow.
So I set up something
You took on the mighty BJP.
In the style of the old Swatantra Party.
But where? Were you in the center?
So Delhi, we went in Delhi, we set
Yeah.
it up and then went around canvassing in various states. Then I figured
What was
out
the party
that
called?
it was called the Liberal Party of India.
Liberal never works in India.
Yeah. So that's why at least I wound up in a couple of years with that realization. But so one, we come at it from that perspective. The jurisprudential argument is you are born, divinity gives you the right to violence to protect yourself. The state takes it away. The modern state creates monopoly over violence by saying that I will give you protection, and if I can't protect you, I'll deliver justice to you later. We are in a situation where the state has taken away the Brits took it away, and the Brown Sahibs have just continued with it. The right has gone away. They are unable to give you protection in an adequate enough fashion. And if violence happens to you, they are unable to deliver justice to you. So all that you need to do is look at the statistics for major crimes and how many people go to jail, how many get imprisoned, etc. So our conviction rates are less than 10%. They are in the single digits.
So you're saying we fire the institutions and say we will look after ourselves.
If you
Which
can't
means there's
do-
no institution, no police to look after.
I'm saying that you need to improve the institutions, but until the time the institutions are improved, you are asking me to be defenseless. And many of us many of us watching this podcast and people participating in this, I would say come from a certain elitist urban background, and you enjoy a certain degree of comfort and protection. You go into rural India and all that will collapse immediately. If something happens to you untoward in urban India, you'll figure out how easy or not it is to sort of get recourse against a crime that has happened to
But
you.
on the other hand, you're saying I keep a gun with me, so if somebody is rude to me or there's an argument,
But you keep a gun with you.
You're saying
Somebody is rude to
self-defense,
you.
but it doesn't just work like that.
No, it does. Now, you can shoot the person, kill the person, then you go to jail. So, if you can't defend, you cannot justify your use of the firearm, you need to go to jail.
So I can only use it as a defense if somebody's attacked me physically.
So, you can use it for what is permitted by law. So, the law will, when you do this liberalization, you'll also need to relook at the law in terms of how this should be used and what are boundaries. You'll need to sort of set boundaries.
I mean, husbands and wives will shoot each other. I mean, I'm just thinking.
Husbands and wives have kitchen knives and hammers in the house.
If you're talking about the Bollywood actor whose name I won't mention who shot himself, I'm not getting to that space.
Okay.
I get your point. No, I'm just looking at it from the playing devil's advocate, no pun intended.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think that how a certain society, not to praise the West from any angle, certain societies may have reached a point where they can deal with the fact that they're carrying weapons and they will really not use it unless last resort, etc. But if in India, just looking out of the room, if 1.5 million Indians are empowered to carry guns, guys, will it be okay?
But think of it like that. They did not reach there and then get the right to carry weapons.
Then?
They always had the right to carry weapons. It's a continuing right.
But maybe that was a very violent time. I mean, how do we know?
So as did we come through violent times. So the US always, the Western Europe always, Japan always.
Anand, my three employees here, if they had guns and they don't like the marketing department, I mean, they'll just wipe them out. For
No, they won't. They won't.
They'll kill the Zomato guy. He's just come 5 minutes late. The cable operator.
Then they'll go to jail.
Yeah, but I'm saying that why put them in that position where just, spike in anger?
So it's very often an overstatement.
Meaning?
That this is an unrealistic sort of hyperbole.
So you're saying it doesn't really happen?
It doesn't really happen. It doesn't happen. Other the Kurgis would be doing the same.
Yeah.
The Sardars would be doing the same to the Zomato guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
I mean, not encouraging them to do this, but guys, deliver on time. Deliver on time. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll leave it there. These are your suggestions in the book, so we'll leave that point
So
there.
my point being that as against having a blanket shutdown, look through these ideas. You don't like
So no
them.
license is involved.
So I'm saying no license for a bunch of things. So I don't like licensing in the first place. So in a free world, you should be free to do what without so much
buying
licensing.
shampoo or buying a gun is the same thing for me.
A handgun should be the same thing.
I'm sorry I brought up shampoo. I do apologize. I don't know why it came. Biscuit, packet of biscuits. Well, but that's a little dangerous. The adult Indian male goes into the mall or whatever it's called, the shop, and sabun dena, ye dena, wo
He
dena.
doesn't think it is dangerous when it happens in the US. He's happy to immigrate to the US. He wants actually. It's his aspiration. Trump is trying to prevent him from coming there.
So you're saying they just flood us with this whole narrative which is not really there. It's rare, the use of the...
It is an English imperial narrative that we have made ours. And we have called ourselves a peaceful civilization. We have never been a
weakened our
peaceful
own self
civilization.
saying we need the institution to protect us.
Yeah.
When we don't need that.
We have stopped thinking freely. We have stopped. We have forgotten the idea of challenge.
Let me ask you.
Challenge the idea.
We both drive cars. One of the most road rage is one of the biggest problems in both Delhi and Mumbai. If you have a fight with somebody while you're driving, you come out, both have guns. I mean, then it could just escalate.
It happens in the US as well. Road rage happens. People do pull out guns,
and sometimes shoot.
And then there's
So you're okay with these
consequences for shooting
statistics.
like
You're
that.
saying that it's
See,
not-
my
it's not
point,
enough to make a dent.
My point is, there will be a certain kind of spike in violence. The question is the citizen more empowered? And when I say citizen, I'm talking about 1.5 billion people. Are they more empowered?
Yeah, we're not talking
is
about
it a
rich poor.
fairer society?
Yeah.
Because what will happen? Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I go to a government office. The guy asks me for a bribe. One guy turns around and shoots the bribe asker. The next guy who sits in that seat, how comfortable will he be asking for a bribe? All right, the first guy has gone to jail. The shooter has gone to jail.
But he's our martyr because
He's
of
a
him.
martyr.
He's changed the system. Yeah.
So they.
So you think we'll have to kill a few people just to make this a better country?
I mean, wouldn't we
Anand,
like
I have
to?
not. I need
Wouldn't we
strong
like
evidence.
to? Wouldn't we like to do that to
I
some of the
understand.
bribe
I'm not
takers?
fully against what you're saying. I'm just trying to, because it's a public platform. I can understand where you're coming from. It's a little interesting for sure. I just have no faith in humanity, not just Indians. And giving them this kind of power, because people just lose it, man, and they lose it all the time. With domestic violence, we're joking about it, but it's terrible across the world, not just here. Yeah. Having said that, Australia had that terrible moment just now in Bondi Beach, where one man of Indian descent and his son from a mixed marriage, and they shot the people.
Yeah, now imagine the Indian descent guy is carrying a weapon and would be shooting back.
Yeah, but
I mean, imagine if KASAB had a free run, he was shooting people. If those people started shooting back.
that's true. They had a free run throughout that.
Yeah.
Until the forces came
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
They're just massacring people.
And that's what I'm talking about, is that the perpetrator, the criminal, always will have a weapon. The victim will almost never have a weapon. And I like to see a situation where the victims are weaponized. And then I like to see how do perpetrators behave.
I have a very volatile marriage, and I'm just thinking. I mean, you'd find me dead. There'll be 4 bullet holes in. I mean, God knows where she'll shoot.
Your wife has got those kitchen knives and stuff like that also at home. Iron rods.
So she's got everything. Before marriage, we don't do the dowry thing anymore. No? Before marriage, is what weapons do you have? Declare your weapons, then enter the house. Yeah, don't get into that. But speaking, the second controversial thing, there are a few controversial. Well, the controversial wrong word. It's just forward thinking or thinking a little differently. What about this woman's right to? What is the right word?
Liberalize prostitution.
Yes, that's the right word. I'm so uncomfortable. People are going to attack me. Yeah.
So it comes from the thinking.
And there are countries who have done that.
There are plenty of countries
Sweden
that have
and
done.
those kind of Holland and
No, Singapore.
Singapore also.
So it's all over the place.
Cancel Sweden. Singapore cheaper. Anand, yeah,
so the idea came to me on account of a couple of things. So when the
my God,
this is not a homegrown idea.
Candid moment.
So in those days, I used to be a partner at Trilegal, and Trilegal did a lot of international work. So some of my
Was it
clients were
trilegal or bilegal?
Three.
So you travelled?
So in China, there was this general counsel who was Chinese, who was wanting to come to India, and she was very concerned. Is it safe for women? Can I come alone? Will you organize a car to pick me up from the airport? So all sorts of things. So I said, you don't have to be so worried. She said, no, there's so many rapes happening. I said, that's one random thing which the media is playing up. And that is when she told me, do you have legalized prostitution in India? And I said, no, it's illegal. She said, but why don't you legalize it? It'll become safer for the women. And that's when I started thinking in those terms in one particular
So it's a profession
sense.
of choice.
So, one, it's a profession of choice, but if people are allowed to pay some money and get rid of their frustration, I mean, lots of people are staying away from families. So, it becomes safer for the women generally. She then gave the example of in China. She says it's not as if rapes don't happen, but it's not, the numbers are not so high, and normal harassment is very low. So women have, in that
They
sense,
won't get the Gurgaon experience.
You will not have the Delhi experience.
Yeah.
So the other one was Delhi. It is fair to say that there is not a single woman in Delhi that has not been
One bad
harassed.
story. Even in Mumbai, to be honest, it's not like it doesn't happen.
Almost on a daily basis. So if she walks the street, there will be 100% harassment. Now the question is, who are the guys? I mean, it's not as if. So who are the guys who are harassing? The vegetable vendor, the auto rickshaw wala, the guy coming in
Sometimes
a Merc.
it's just people with no jobs walking around the streets.
No, it's also the regular guys who are coming around in Mercs and
guy in the
things like
Merc.
that. Yeah. So, I mean, how many times have you seen in school and college people catcalling, Jane man, kaha ja rahi ho, sort of stuff?
From the bus, from outside the bus.
Yeah. So it's constant.
Sorry, I didn't get. Let me hear
Jane man.
Anand and I belong to a certain vintage. So even the Eve teasing is a little dated. Nobody says Johnny Man anymore. I mean, the girl will be like, excuse me? Yeah, okay, Johnny Man.
So then the thing was, what is it that drives? Obviously, these are not criminals who do this stuff. These are regular people that get pushed in, that can't stop themselves. And what is it that can help them stop themselves? If they were sort of, and then in my head, it was the comparison with Bombay. Now, Bombay might be different, but there used to be at least a point, I think a lot of Bombay will still be like that. But there used to be the thing that a women can sort of 2 o'clock in the night go by
that's for
herself.
sure. That's for sure. I can ask Anushka is right there.
Yeah.
We sell, my wife used to be a photographer and travel in the night, no problem.
So no
that was
problem.
never an issue. But now, in the last
Ask
few years,
any
little bit
woman in
worried.
Delhi to do that.
No,
now
impossible.
today they've begun to do it a little bit.
Maybe the chief minister, because she's got protection.
True.
Yeah.
But highly unsafe. So therefore it is.
But legalizing prostitution is going to make it safe.
Now what is different in Bombay than in Delhi?
The
Easy
milk
availability
is
of
less
commercial
diluted.
sex. No, easy availability of commercial sex.
Oh, is that so? How do you know all this, Anand?
It's all over. There are movies that are made. I'm not going to reveal all stories, but at least some of the stories it's available. Bollywood sort of shows it. So that is one reality. It is human beings are human beings. We come in both shades of good and bad. So you'll pull the Mr. Hyde by frustrating Dr. Jekyll. And so that is what needs to sort of balance out a little bit. So that is there is also the question of
worked
agency.
in the countries you've spoken of, like the lady from China. Has it worked in Singapore, Sweden?
So Singapore sees very little, and she's Chinese. She's telling me this is what India should do.
Yeah.
This was way back before we fought Galwan and things like that.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah. Comes with the rider.
But it works a lot better where some of this is there. So at the end of the day, the normal answers.
What is the woman's point of view?
So the women's point of view. So I told you 2 years I tried to run this political party.
Yeah.
This is something that both gun control and liberalizing prostitution was on my political party's agenda. It was on the websites. It was sort of right up front there. I went across urban India, across rural India, multiple states of India. I am yet to encounter the first woman who says no to liberalizing prostitution.
Really?
95 to 97% of the men are opposed to the idea. Not a single woman.
They're opposed. They're worried that someone from their family will take this profession, or they're opposed.
I don't know what there are various reasons. Men say no for various reasons.
Or they believe that.
The important thing is not a single woman said no to the idea. For them, it was not even worth discussing. It was not worth a conversation even. Just
No contest.
no contest.
Yeah. Wow. Well, again, these are Anand's views. Please go and buy the book, read. In a democracy, you must always have discourse and discuss these things. I feel there's slightly evolved ideas. I'm not against them. Both these ideas, I think, are decent ideas. I don't have a problem with the idea per se, but I'm just worried about India as a country. Whether
But agency over body.
Yeah, but it's just that it's just...
A man decides how much agency a woman should have.
But we are an undisciplined country, Anand. See, on paper, what you're saying is perfectly making sense. But the country has very little discipline. And I'm just worried about the kind of, with the gun.
If you liberalize prostitution, indiscipline will not...
Firstly, the guy who's going to her as a customer has a gun.
Acha, like that. She also has a gun.
She also has a gun. So, and of course, the fight will be over the payment. And next thing you know, we've lost either a lovely prostitute who would have been good for
or next
India's
time,
economy,
the next guy who goes in there knows that these people carry guns, so you're not going to go with the gun in there.
Okay, so your point is that we lose a few to save the many.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's always been the case. We have always lost a
The
few to
greater
save
good.
the money.
The greater good.
Our army does it every day.
Yeah. Okay.
We lose a few to save many.
Okay, before we run out of time, do we have another controversial thing that we can go through from the book? Or are we done? Yeah.
Controversial idea.
Yeah. No. In the book, just to promote the book, if you want to read the book, it's not just about these two very big, controversial again, I feel is the wrong word. It's far thinking. He thinks out of the box. Thinks out of the box. Is there any third idea like this?
So there is, I argue for life term for judges. So like the US, so they don't retire.
Till they die.
So till they die or till they decide.
I have old relatives who just completely change texture.
So once you go senile, then you sort of are taken out.
But then what? So there's
but
a medical
you're
test.
Functional. Yeah, so they're tested. So
then I'm fine with it. Then I'm fine because every man is different. Some people are absolutely super. Like he's 91 and he's, he's great.
Look at forcing a Supreme Court judge to retire at 65 or a High Court judge to retire at 62. Yeah. At 65. I don't know how old you are. I'm 58. I think can function like a teenager in many ways.
Where's my gun?
Nah, true. Look at the most recently retired Chief Justices. They are all strong, very young.
Yeah.
They could have gone on for another 20 years. You're forced
CGI
them into retirement.
was very fully in his senses. There's no question. But coming back to that, because if you look at the whole subject, there is no age. each person is different. Each combination of humanity is a little different from the next one. I mean, what is? I mean,
and lifespans have undergone a change. I mean, at our parents 58, they would say कि मैं तो बुड्ढा हो गया हूँ ये वो.
Correct.
That doesn't come out of my mouth.
Yeah, but it's like a dysfunctional 50-year-old or a very well-functioning 69-year-old. I mean, it could be anything. If you see it around us, we can see that. You know, some people are, and they peak in the. Churchill, for example, was at his best in his 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Not that he was a great India lover. I won't get into that controversy. But the examples of Karunanidhi was running Tamil Nadu, and he was almost 90 towards the end. And he was very clear. It's not like the mind had shut down.
I mean, our Prime Minister is crossed 75.
Yeah, that's a controversial point.
Well, you mean he's not?
He has crossed 75. But
he's still going for it like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, Donald Trump is what, 78? 77?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
somewhere there. Yeah. Well, now, I think I disagree with your idea. 58! 58. Okay, quickly, before we run out of time, tell us a little bit about your personal life. What's it like? Not about women and all that. The conversation we've had, I don't want you to get some wrong impressions. But just tell us the life of a lawyer. What's it like?
A life of a lawyer could be very academically inclined and boring, or it could be interesting.
But after hours, what happens? What do you do?
So I pretend to be a musician sometimes.
Oh, wow.
I spent some time writing this book. I do a lot of spiritual pursuits, religious spiritual pursuits.
Yeah.
So you could do many things. If I was not a lawyer and my father was wealthy enough, I would have been an archaeologist. So I spent a lot of time looking at history.
Okay.
So lots of stuff. I mean, lawyers I do theoretical physics. I would have liked to be a physicist as well.
You had me till this theoretical physics. Then I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, that's not a hobby. A hobby is gardening. Yeah. But what about the hearings?
Musician and religion.
No, but when you go to court and these great presentations, nobody has any judge ever said, bro, ye kya hai?
बोलने तो दो.
Till now it's not happened. And listen, the gun control thing and all, it's still on.
So traditionally hearings were required or were worn by all Indians.
Yeah.
No, by all Indians.
Yeah.
So even now in areas of India that are not as urbanized,
But these are not those Rajput style ones, no?
No. These are what are called kundals, or more than.
I thought he was going to say these are my wives. So what is kundals?
So Karna had kundals.
Okay. You're very into your mythology and your
very
religion
much.
and all that. So it almost looks like you want to go back to the past where India was a more powerful sort of presence than what the British have left us with, was sort of weak body of thought when it comes to everything. And
so when I say powerful presence, it is more in economic terms, more in terms of whether Indians in terms of character had a spine.
Yeah, the self. The
self.
The personal self.
Personal self, you had more spine.
Yeah.
You would speak up.
And more confidence maybe.
More confidence.
The American example.
So therefore a washerman could tell Rama that your wife is gone and sort of she lived with somebody else. Imagine somebody doing that to a king today. Chief Minister, MP, MLA ko nahi bol sakte.
No. Although some chief ministers will say, if my wife left, thank God.
But so what
the balance of power.
How empowered was the common person? And my point being that the common person was a lot more empowered, both in terms of his ability to express himself or herself and the economic empowerment. So all of that existed.
But they should go together anyway, no?
They will very often go together.
Yeah, it'd be tough without one without the other.
Correct. So they will very often go together. Yeah. Economic empowerment will bring in also some degree of personal
So then we haven't discussed that. We will run out of time. But how do we situation, disparity in income being what it is in India, while you're doing this and coming up with laws which are forward-thinking and progressive, how do you get the...
So that is unshackling the elephant. That is unshackling the elephant as a full, and it is... Remember that I'm a commercial lawyer essentially. I'm not a civil rights lawyer.
Yeah.
So a lot of the conversations that we have had is more sort of civil in character.
Yeah.
My book is about how can you unshackle the common Indian.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. So you've seen lots of, Modi ji talked about a pakoda wala, people set up pakoda shops. How many pakoda walas that you know that have set up a shop and for the next 10 years he's still running his one shop? Many.
Almost everybody. They don't go up.
How many pakoda walas do you know in 2 years time has set up 10 pakoda shops?
Okay, the scale doesn't happen.
Why doesn't it happen? Because your regulatory framework is designed in a certain fashion to keep... Now who sets up a pakoda shop? what economic background does he or she come from?
Not a very good one.
Not a very good one, not very educated. They know. If you tell them, and this is, you'll require 4 to 6 licenses, permits, approvals to set up a pakoda wala thela on any street. Do you think, ek to unke paas capital nahi hai. He thinks that I instead of being a thief, I should do some honest job.
Yeah.
So poor fellow thinks he's doing an honest job, sets up a pakoda shop. He has to go 4 licenses, approvals, least pakad
There's
lo.
no ambition.
No, he has ambition, but you've imposed on him a legal requirement, a regulatory requirement that one, he's unaware of. Second, even if he's aware of, he's incapable of fulfilling. Therefore, on day one, he's forced into illegality. He's subject to extortion. He therefore keeps himself small, so tries to become invisible, so that and therefore remains small. You have got to unleash
He
the
gets
common
beaten
man.
by the system because he realizes he can't go forward.
And the system is not designed with thinking that I should beat him down. The system is thinking I should have the best European standard system. Now, European standard, if he meets all those compliances, your pakoda that costs 20 rupees a plate will cost 500 rupees a plate.
Yeah.
How many people are buying 500 rupees a plate? Same example you can take across various economic activities that the common person, the person on the street undertakes. One, you financially can't afford those compliances and those regulations. So you need to get rid of them. You need to open it up. You need to create a system that enables a common person to become wealthy. Not only the wealthy to become wealthier. The wealthy will always find lawyers like me or accountants. But the poor chap who is entrepreneurial, doesn't want to be a crook, is killed by the system. Because there are these unthought laws, because you feel that I must look nice before the rest of the world, or you're some British.
So middle class sort of thinking that we can't aspire even.
We can't aspire.
Because it's just no
And
point.
so for the guy who aspires, he's incapacitated. I mean, even you look at new entrepreneurs, forget about the tech entrepreneurs. As soon as they become slightly big, or new entrepreneurs, you'll find how many forms, etc. there to fill. It's a pain actually. So you'll always try and take the shorter.
I feel the Liberal Party of India should come back. I like most of your views. I will be supporting
agree.
you. Yes, 100%.
Thank you.
I think my 2 boys are supporting you as well. Liberal Party. The young producer, you're okay with the gun control and all, right? Because I think women will suffer the gun control the most.
No, you can accept some and reject some.
Yeah.
Freedom.
But accept them as a party and him as a leader. So Anand, once you're
No,
done,
not me as a leader. Now I'm done with leadership.
you won't go back.
No.
Won't give another shot.
No.
What about building secretary?
No.
Start from there and then Prime Minister Anand Prasad. It's a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Likewise.
Please check out the book. It's called Unshackling the Elephant. I hope we've given you a little bit of a taste, but it's much more than just a conversation here. So you'll have to read the whole book and understand his ideas and thoughts. Very interesting man, and hopefully he'll come back and talk to us at some other time again. Or is
Thank you,
there
Cyrus.
another book coming up?
Not just now.
Yeah. I mean, one elephant at a time.
That's right.
Cyrus says every time, Cyrus says, जब ये कहे तुम सुनो. Please.
तमीज से बात करना है ना, important people यार.